Hello everyone, welcome to Alphawisdom. I'm Mystic Cassandria. Today we are completing our discussion of the Simian line, updated name, single Traverse Palmar Crease. And let's get started. Okay, as you see on your screen, over here is just a reminder of what it is. Okay, but we're starting with this example today. Now, as we look at this, we see that there's an indication that says rare thin line. You've got some other things here. We'll get to them momentarily. This, of course, is a Simian line set high on the palm. It's high up. Usually it's more in this area. We'll see an example of that shortly. Okay. Let's see what this means. When you have a thin straight line across the palm, which is rare, you don't usually see that one. But when it is present, it indicates the person has a hypersensitive mentality with excellent perception, the sort of person who can answer a question before the other person even asks the question. The principal motivation of people with this line is self-interest. Okay? Now, let's go on to here. A Simian line is set high on the palm, indicating that the intellect or reason dominate. When it's high up, it's letting you know which one of the adjoined signs tends to take control. And that, in this case, is the heart line, because this is the area of the heart line. Now, it's just the opposite. If the line is lower, sits lower than what we consider average, then we can see that the intellect, the head line, does the control. It doesn't mean that the other one does not function. It just dominates. Let's see it that way. It dominates. Okay? So we've established that thin line across. Now let's go into what's going on here. Red line is circling this line because it's thicker than the line itself. And when it's thicker at the start, and that would be near the thumb area, the person will have a colder and more calculating emotional style. Okay? Now let's look at the other side. Here's the thickness toward the side where the heart line normally starts. And if it's here, the emotions of the person are instinctive. Okay? So that's what we have here in this example. So all of these things are important, and they help you get to know the person who has that palm. All right, let's take a look at this one. Remember, this is the name that we'll be using, but this is how it is now, Simian line. Now, this is sitting lower. I already told you about that. And it's almost average, but it's lower. So we can think of this the opposite of the other one. But look at this. It says thick, straight line. When it's thick, that means something too. Okay? Now, a thick, straight line across the palm is a sure sign of a selfish and materialistic nature that the person has. Thick. That's thick. Now, that's not the average look. This is obviously thicker. So it's telling you that the person's selfish and materialistic. That's their nature. Okay? Let's move on from this one. And let's take a look at this one. Here we have the line. That's the line. And a little stress here at the beginning, which is normal. And there is an island here. But what's going on here? Now the branch is here, but this is a headline that's going here. So we can think of it like a branch of a headline, but branches are always connected to a line and they're usually short. So this is a headline trying to move on to this area, and this too. So you've got two of them, and that indicates that the person has been putting forth effort with the mental aspect of his makeup or from this line. Don't know how successful he is, but he or she is, but here's it, independent. But that doesn't take away from this. This line, if it runs across and you only see the single line, you don't see a heart line, you don't see a headline, just one line, this is the dominating feature. But this can happen. It's just like trying hard to focus on that as best the person can. And if it's above, as we saw in the previous example yesterday, we can say that it's the same thing. Emotions are trying to move out in spite of this. Not strong enough to have an effect, but at least strong enough to allow a sign to come in to indicate what's going on. All right? I hope that helps. Let's go on to the next one. Now here we have Simian line with a section of the headline, the headline below. Here's the section here. And it seems to try to connect or cut through the fate line. This is the fate line here. And so that's what we have here. So I'm just showing you these things to let you know that we have examples of this. This is not terribly unusual. You might see this. So a lot of times you have in your hand lines that seems to move off from, but they don't appear to be a part of what we understand the major lines to be. But we do have them moving on like this. They don't end, they just tend to move off. So here is, we can see effort in this area. Anything below the line would be the head line. Anything above this line would be in reference to the heart line. Okay? All right, let's go on to the last sheet, what we will end with. All right, here are more characteristics to help you understand yourself or understand someone you may know that has a Simian line, as we know, single Traverse Palmar Crease line. Okay, characteristics stand out from the crowd for our single-mindedness and intensity to pursue our ideas. Once they are sort of coached or encouraged or goaded into doing something, that's when the true nature of the Simian line person comes out. Because sometimes you don't know that person has a Simian line unless you see them in action. Okay. Have tunnel vision and determination to pursue their ideas. They employ their own method of doing things and have remarkable powers of concentration. And unfortunately, they do not always realize their potential. So if you have a Simian line, you have tremendous potential. So just go for it. Okay. Anyway, let's go on. Believe in what they do 100%. They have remarkable powers of concentration. They have black or white personalities. That is, believing people and opinions are either right or wrong. And if others disagree with them, they are naturally inclined to think that the other people are wrong. And finally, they exude charisma, energy, and strength, often physical and mental. They're fascinating people, and maybe you've met them, or maybe you know one, or maybe you are. So that's what I have to say about it. And there's always more to be said. But anyway, that's what we have today. All right. Thanks for watching. Give a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And by all means, love yourself, love and light. Till next time. Bye.